Yo, it's the purple Yeti. Little late, I know. Purple Yeti was on location, if you guys have been paying attention. Not unlike Bone Crusher, there is an early 2000s rap reference for you. Can I dig it? Anyway, I was out on a vacation, bachelor party thing, so I'm finally recovered. And that's why I have some delicious Fresca right now. Yep. I'm also kind of recovered from the shock and the awe that was the Kansas State Wildcats. Good Lord. So it is the Purple Yeti. A ridiculous moniker. And that's exactly what I'm wearing right now, is the purple Get Ready to Roll shirt. Not unlike 1998 Kansas State Wildcats, maybe even the 2003. But we are getting into some waters that have only been charted once or twice for the Wildcats now. In case you've missed it, K-State throttled West Virginia. I was surprised. Through the haze of chips and Red Bulls and vodkas, I was really surprised. They totally dominated West Virginia in all facets of the game, and they just beat them down. Thanks, Bomani. You know who you are. So that game is over. The media just woke up to Kansas State, so now we're seeing a lot more talk about these guys. It's the same kind of story, too. It's old Bill Snyder, the wizard, the old guy, the media hater back in the day. There's still some burnt ends from some media guys, and we'll get to in a minute. But the media is starting to kind of fall in love with Kansas State, and as a Kansas State fan, that's scary as hell. I know, right? You know, they finally were getting the attention we need, but it's like we're thriving on the disrespect, and now we're getting it. Whew, they got a big test coming up this weekend too, going against Texas Tech. It's a good thing it's at home. Texas Tech was the other team that whooped up on West Virginia pretty bad, actually. Texas Tech provided the blueprint to defeat West Virginia. And they only have one loss. As a matter of fact, they are 6-1. They are bowl eligible already, like the Wildcats. Yeah, right? And they're heading into Manhattan, and I'm a little scared. I think last weekend it was more of like I was having a hard time seeing Kansas State winning. Now I'm having a hard time seeing Kansas State not falling into an actual trap. I think they have the better talent, but I can't get away from that notion. So expect a lot of yelling and screaming and, well, hopefully not crying from Saturday's game for the Wildcats. So yeah, it's amazing. They're number 3 in the BCS rankings. They are most consistent winning so far. But there's a big argument now going on this week about who's number 2. And I've been hearing a lot of whining and complaining from the Oregon Ducks. And they have, and that's what makes college football so beautiful, is that people can smack talk even when their team hasn't won all their games. You know, me included, Mississippi State. You know, everybody except Alabama, really. Florida. Everybody thinks it's kind of a known deal that Alabama's going to win all the way. But, I don't know. That's why you play the games. I mean, Notre Dame's got a case. You can talk Rutgers. You can talk Louisville. You can talk Ohio. You know, it's amazing. There's so many teams undefeated right now. But it's going to shake out. It's probably going to shake out starting this weekend. Probably part of the reason why I'm a little worried about this weekend too. But let's go back. I know it's Wednesday. It's freaking late. But yeah, that was the one game I got to watch. I watched one other game. I think it was Michigan. I don't know. I have Dave Jolly and his Michiganness. Had to watch that game. Not exciting, really. Didn't really see any other game over the weekend. It's pretty amazing. But teams who won, teams who lost were supposed to lose, so that's that. Back to Oregon. Right, Oregon fans now. Ivan Maisel has been doing this. But Oregon fans are now complaining that people are backing out against playing the Ducks, and that's why that they should have a shot at the title if both Oregon and Kansas State go undefeated. They're talking about how there's a home and home for Kansas State against Oregon that that is no longer going on. That one of the games would have taken place this year, and because of that, Oregon's strength of schedule out of conference is weak, and they're laying it thick on the Wildcats for backing out. Yeah, short story is that it was a mutual agreement. One, that was the AD got a better offer from LSU in 2011 to play the Tigers and the Ducks. So they were looking to back out of the 2011 game, and then, of course, you know, Bill, being the guy that Bill is like, yeah, well, why don't we just get rid of the whole series then, you know? So, I mean, and now Oregon did the same thing with Georgia, but, you know, Oregon fans like to complain that other teams backed out against playing against them when it was a mutual thing. Conference realignment, expansion of the Pac-12. You can go on and just run down the whole line. One thing that I'd love to point out is that Kansas State did play Miami this year and beat the hell out of them. Who did Oregon reschedule? Now, granted, it was Miami and Oregon on the schedule for Kansas State, so maybe that's what it was. At any rate, nobody didn't back out, and in fact, whoever started it was Oregon, but Ivan Maisel, a lot of the media types, I mean, especially fans, are already looking for ways to knock Kansas State. So I guess if you want to play the disrespect card, it's sitting there right in front of you. You know, there are people already starting to make excuses for Kansas State to not go if they finish undefeated. Been there, done that. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. What else is going on? Man, nothing. More football. How about that? There's some other games going on this week. People are excited about Florida returning, which I guess is okay. I don't know. So Florida's back. They're facing Georgia. They may remain undefeated in the East, but if they don't, then we're pretty much assured that it may only be at most one SEC team playing in the national championship game, which would be awesome. But if they lose this weekend, it only really helps the Wildcats, but it also helps everybody else. So, you know, go Dogs! So that's happening this weekend, and we're not even done yet. There's just so many games. Mississippi State at Alabama. Believe it or not, Mississippi State is undefeated. I swear, I can complain about K-State getting the disrespect card. Mississippi State is getting a disrespect deck of cards. We're talking 52 card pickup, and it's all non-respect. So there's probably a chip on the shoulder of Mississippi State, and I want to say upset special because everybody's completely overlooking it. So mark my words right here. I'm thinking upset special, Mississippi State and Alabama. You know, it just, that's just right. There's going to be some undefeateds going down this weekend. What other game? Oh, the other big game for us in the Big 12 has to be Oklahoma hosting my second most beloved college football team, and that would be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So Notre Dame's undefeated up to this point, so they're going to get the hype, and they are. They're number 5. They're right behind. They're behind Kansas State a couple spots, and now they're going to an Oklahoma team who must be biting themselves in the ass for not taking care of business against Kansas State and Norman a couple weeks ago, because then they would most assuredly be ranked number 2 because of the hype that Oklahoma will get. and the expectations that they would have had of finishing or starting the season at number 1. So Oklahoma's pissed, and now Notre Dame's coming to Norman. I think it's the first time ever. I really don't know, but it's going to be electric, and I don't know who's going to win that game. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to lean on Oklahoma. It's Oklahoma and Norman. They lost to a top 5 ranked team in Kansas State, but they don't really lose the top ranked teams in Norman. So I'm going to hold on to that, even though they tripped up against the Wildcats. I guess the other thing is that what is Notre Dame's offense? What? There's no identity. Who is this? What? All you hear is Monte Teo and like the defense for Notre Dame. So I mean, there's that. Now, granted, you don't really hear about superstars on Oklahoma's defensive side of the field, but you know, they're recruiting a talent. You gotta have a stout defense. We'll find out, I guess, Saturday night. And it would be perfect for right after me watching Texas Tech heading to Kansas State. Man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm worried. You know, if Dougie, Seth Doege, if he plays a dodgy game, it's going to play into the Wildcats' favor. The guy tossed 3 interceptions against Oklahoma that really helped Oklahoma beat Texas Tech. The game was close running into the half. Third quarter, Texas Tech folded. That was their MO last year on a lot of games. And if you watched the K-State game last year against Texas Tech, you would have witnessed a very close game leading into the third quarter, late third quarter, and then Kansas State pulling away. This is going to be another close one. The confidence I have, I think, might be in the Wildcats returning just more experience. I think the Wildcats have been in so many big games, and they've won so many close games last year. They won all their games this year, close or blowouts. It feels like they have the confidence that they can pretty much win any game, and they're going to need it against this team. Don't know yet if they're thinking about overlooking. Hopefully Snyder 2.0's got them coached to just take it a game at a time. Every game is tough, and to win your conference first, really. It's your state, conference, national. So you can think about being number 3, but if you don't win your conference, you're not going to go to a BCS bowl game. Let's just put it that way. So you know they got to be taking this seriously, and you know that they're doing something with that blueprint Oklahoma provided to beat Texas Tech. Because unlike the blowout that Texas Tech had over West Virginia, Kansas State might actually have a decent defense that can be coached into being in the right position, into making the tackles where needed. It's going to be a great game. Where I was more worried about, I don't know what the hell's going to happen kind of deal with West Virginia and Kansas State. This game, I know it's going to be a tough, close game. And, man, home field advantage, you know, Bill Snyder, Collin Klein, John Hubert, Tyler Lockett showing up in the game now. You know, you got Tremaine Thompson and Chris Harper, but now you're looking at Tyler Lockett, which, you know, if you read my preview column leading into this year, which was my X factor for this whole season, and because nobody saw this kid as much because of his lacerated kidney last year, and he's a special talent, special pedigree, especially for you K-State fans. And he came on strong last week. I think he's going to be used a lot more. You'll be surprised about that. There's some folds coming, but you know what? I mean, Texas Tech's defense, Tommy Tubberville, always knows how to win against top 10 teams. It's going to be a battle, and everybody should just drop what they're doing Saturday afternoon and watch it. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Drop some comments down. Hopefully next week it'll be a win for the Cats. They're already exceeding my expectations. Let's see how far they can go. Rest of college football, yeah, whatever. I talked about the big top 25 games. There's really nothing else that exciting. I mean, that's it. So, hey, until next time, y'all, take it easy, and I'll see you shortly.